Honish, Andrew Labouche, Miguel Antonio Barragan, controlling the boards and taking up the executive producer roles while I live in exile. We are here to talk about sports, boxing, a little MMA for you, a little heartbreaking Charger talk, because they just fucking pulled my heart out of my chest. Bastards. With all of that said, as we always do, let's start with the roundtable. Andrew, how was your weekend, and how is it going up in Northern California? Are the skies still on fire with tornadoes, fire, and orange skies?
No. How's it going, guys? No, the skies look a lot better out here. I'm glad we're hopefully getting past these fires. Yeah, weekend went good. Fights were good last night. Drank a lot of beer, so I got a late start.
That's why they were good.
Yeah,
that's why they were good. Let's be honest. I watched the same fights too, and they would have been better if I had been drinking, to say the very least. With all of that said, Miguel Antonio Barragan, how was your week? How was your weekend? How is half of Las Vegas doing?
Well, not too bad. I mean, we're not getting any of the smoke, of course, because we did get some of the smoke from the fires, and it did look a little crazy. The sun looked pretty nuts, but that's pretty much cleared up now. We're finally beginning to cool off a little bit, and when I say cool off, I mean like low 90s. So it's starting to feel a little bit like fall now. But yeah, I literally nothing this weekend. Like I stayed home, watched fights, didn't leave the house for shit. So yeah, that was
basically.
weekend.
Don't worry, I'll be out there soon. It'll be lots of fun when I move out there. One of the fast facts, by the way, for anybody who cares about me, hey, doing great. Thanks for asking. Because that's all I'm allowed to say, thanks to our friend Sam Navajero. And let us all point out that Miguel now has an official microphone, so you guys won't have any more problems.
Fingers crossed.
The thing that I caught last night is the aerial view of the strip at 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that there's still no traffic on the strip on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock in prime time traffic to Vegas. I'm going to take a wild guess, Miguel. We're still talking half the strip open?
Roughly, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of places that still haven't opened. Like I think Caesars hasn't. So yeah, we're roughly about half, I would say. Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I saw it with the overview last night when they shot the when they pulled back. We're in beautiful Las Vegas in the fucking bubble here at well, really the conference center. And for a brief moment, I was sitting there watching the fight with another amateur boxer, I might add, Andrew, who had some keen insight on the Ajabaga fight, as well as the other fight with Pedraza. We both looked at it and I go, the strip's empty. It's September on a Saturday night and the strip's empty. It's not 120 degrees. Like, this is.
And it was Mexican, isn't it? Mexican Independence? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? But I will say this though. I don't know if that was the case last night or Saturday. Yeah, but sometimes like ESPN uses this like pre-packaged film. So some of those things aren't even like actually like live. I've noticed this because sometimes they'll pan over to this where the Monte Carlo was, a casino that's no longer there, and I still see it in there. So sometimes I don't. They sometimes.
So you're saying you're pro-Trump, you're pro-right wing, and that it's a conspiracy of the MGM Corporation to repress the fact that the good people of Las Vegas are partying their asses off on Saturday night. Is that what you're saying?
I will neither confirm nor deny that.
I will say that pullback shot, it does its job. My 6-year-old son, Junior, loves to see Las Vegas lit up.
Wait until he's old enough to appreciate going to a show and having an expensive meal like my daughter, and see
I told him he keeps training. He can own that city. That's what I tell him.
Oh, look at you, Dad!
Nice.
The stars. Nice. Quickly, because it did happen last night, from the UFC Apex Center, which, if you're wondering, is if you're driving into Vegas, it's to the left, right? Have I got that correct? It's up towards Summerlin.
Yes. Yep.
It's like in the Summerlin area somewhere. For those of you who think it's on the strip, they've got a hotel. No, they don't. They got a building pretty much in the industrial section. Let's just cut to the chase. I would talk about the Cerrone fight, but since it ended in a draw, fuck it. Let's move to the main event. Colby Covington, who has been on a one-man tear to find his way to Masvidal, defeats Tyrone Woodley, who magically sprained or drained or hurt his rib.
Oh, he quit. He quit.
Yeah.
He quit. But I mean, I want to put this into perspective. He quit while he had a dude in a guillotine, for God's sakes. He just didn't have the strength or the power to commit to the move and bring him all the way over and finish it. Tyrone looked bad from the start. He didn't want to go to the ground. He wanted to stand up. That's not really his game, more or less. I mean, I get that he's knocked some people out, but he likes to kind of grind shit out, and he didn't have it. I turned now to our MMA expert, Colby Covington, coming off of 2 devastating losses to keep kicking his ass backwards in the UFC, is now on a tear and a showdown with Mr. Masvidal.
Yeah, the fight. I mean, last night it wasn't like Tyrone. This is how Tyrone really fights. Unfortunately, this is just the bottom line is. Yeah, he's knocked out a couple of people and kind of fell in love with his power a little bit. But his background is wrestling, but he
Right.
doesn't use it really. He hasn't used it in God knows how long. So if you ever watch any of his fights or any of his losses, he loses the exact same fucking way. You know what I'm saying? So it's just he'll explode, and if he doesn't catch you, he basically loads up again for the next time he explodes, and that's pretty much what Colby had to look for. But he was able to neutralize him. He had kept him up against the fence, and and he was winning anyway. I mean, even with that guillotine, which didn't even look that tight to begin with, I'm sure he was going to be able to get himself out of it, and then probably ground and pound him. But yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead.
I'd agree with you on that, Miguel. It looked like his head was about to pop out, and that's when I think Tyrone Woodley said, "Yeah, my rib hurts. I don't want any of this." It's the real story on this was, I thought we were gonna have a lot more action because of the buildup. I mean, here you had Tyrone Woodley talking about the BLM movement, LeBron James being the new Muhammad Ali of this era. And you have the other guy sporting the American flag, talking Donald Trump's going to whoop Biden. Like, there was a lot of buildup here. I watched it. Not going to lie. I turned on the main event because I thought it was like, this is going to be a race war. In boxing, Lee always pokes fun at Bob Arum. I like a Puerto Rican and I can't even do Bob's voice. Lee. He likes Puerto Rican.
I like a Puerto Rican and a Mexican.
That's
and
right.
I'd like to be at Barclays, or I would like it at Madison Square Garden.
That's right.
And I would like it to be on Mexican Independence Day or Puerto Rican Pendence Day, whatever Pendence Day is for the Puerto Ricans. And then I want the rematch in Puerto Rico.
Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but they didn't show Tyrone Woodley's entrance into the ring last night. Am I mistaken? Did I not see something?
No, they just jumped straight to it, it seemed.
Yeah, they jumped. I think they jumped with the majority of the fights. I mean, I don't know if it was him specifically on that fight, but they do that with a lot of the other fights.
They showed the other man's walk in. They showed he had his American flag. He's all, they showed him walk all the way in. They didn't do it for the other fighter. He was already in the ring. Then when you watch the highlights, they show the highlights of the man with the what's his last name? The white guy? Covington.
Covington.
Covington. There you go. Covington. Mm-hmm. They showed him walk in. Once again, did not show Woodley. So I thought Dana White, if that was anyone else, there'd be big talk about that today. Tyrone Woodley should also be a little bit, just wondering why. But as far as the fight, total downer. I mean, these guys, Woodley just didn't show up, and I agree with Miguel. I've seen him fight before, and I've seen them complain about how he only fights in spurts and he doesn't do what his background really is. You've seen it again last night, and then he quit. To me, he quit in there. The rib, I don't understand the whole rib injury. So yeah, it was a real downer for me. I like the ending. I like how he was saying.
A 12-pack by that point, Andrew. I would have thought it a real downer.
No, I actually didn't finish. I actually started drinking after the fights on the rest of the 12-pack. That's probably where I went wrong. I was at like 5 in during the fight. So you guys seen I was playing with you on the text messages. Then when I go silent, that's after the last 7, and then it went all bad.
Hilariously, for those of you wondering how yesterday went, since boxing and MMA started at like 2 in the afternoon, Andrew suddenly was at work, suddenly not at work, and then suddenly went to hey, I'm drinking. And he shot a picture of his beer and sent it to me. And if you're wondering, hey, Lee, based on what's going on with you, did you make Andrew feel bad? You're right, I did. That was my first text back. I said, way to go, buddy. Send somebody who's in my situation a picture of alcohol after spending a year trying to kill myself with alcohol. Good plan. And then Andrew actually caught it and then felt bad. And I said, Andrew, how long have you known me? Do you really think it's going to bother me? And this is what I wrote for all of you, just so you appreciate my crazy. I said, now, if you had sent me a picture your wife had brought home from work for somebody nice for me to meet the next time I'm in the Bay Area, who is single, her kids are already grown, she owns 4 cats, and she's just looking for a stable guy or an unstable guy, in my case, then we'd probably have a problem, especially if she was hot. I mean, if she's a 5 or a 6, I'm probably willing to look at the photo and have a conversation with her. You know, personality goes a long way at this point for me. With that said, we've covered the UFC. Moving forward, there was a lot of boxing this week, and the only reason I'm filling time with just talking about it is because, first of all, I didn't know there was boxing in Iowa this week. There was. Has it anybody you've ever heard of? No. Is it a casino you've ever heard of? No. Am I actually going to tell you who won? No. I just thought I'd tell you there was boxing in Ohio. Moving forward, because that's kind of a setup to my Showtime joke. Hold on. I'm getting to it. I went a long way for this joke. Did you know there was also boxing in Managua? Neither did I. There, I said it. And I'm going to just say it for the room. The main event, who is William Ramirez, I guarantee still made more than anybody in women's boxing. See, I went a long way for that joke. Now, that's all a setup to talk about Showtime, which apparently had boxing last night, if you can believe that crap. Did anybody actually subject themselves to watching Showtime boxing last night?
I did. I kind of did a half and half. I was like trying to watch, the boxing on Showtime and on ESPN Plus Top Rank card, and it was one of those things where you chase 2 rabbits and catch none. So that's pretty much what I was doing. I was trying to like watch one, and I didn't catch enough of the other one, so I switched back to the other one. And for the most part, my attention was on the Showtime card.
How
But
did you not?
yeah,
I mean, ESPN Plus by itself, if you watched Woodley and you were done, then you got half of Ajabaga and then the main event. I mean, that's not a bad triple threat right there, and we'll get to it. For those of you wondering, because I know there's at least half an Erickson Lubin fan in the pile, super welterweight contender Erickson the Hammer Lubin beat Terrell Gausha. And if you're wondering, does Terrell Gausha make more than Heather Heat Hardy? He does. In a WBC eliminator on Saturday night, he set up a possible rematch with nemesis of the WBC, Jermell Charlo. Shocker.
I know.
Who handed Lubin his only career loss. All right, let's just talk about this. Charlo's in a pay-per-view. We already know both of the Charlos are going to win the pay-per-view, I assume. So we're already setting up Lubin Charlo 2? Really? I start with you, Andrew. Lubin Charlo 2? Really? Is that what they've sung to?
That's why I won't watch the PBC, the Showtime. No, I'm totally done with these guys. Eric Lubin, not mistaken, he was knocked out by 1 punch last time.
First round, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. And here we, now we're talking a rematch with the Charlo. I don't buy into the PBC anymore. I'm done with these guys until they reach out and start fighting other fighters and stop hiding behind Al Heyman. I don't watch them. I cut my subscription to Showtime. Did you guys know Steven Espinoza had COVID?
Oh, no.
Yeah, Steven Espinoza said he thought he was going to die.
By the way, it shouldn't be that funny to me, but it is.
He said at one part in battling it, he thought he was actually going to die, or he did die, something like that.
I'm making that a story for tonight's news. Miguel, Lubin, Charlo, Lubin by himself. Lubin your penis. I mean, where do you want to go with the Lubin on this?
Well, he got himself a victory last night, so he punched his ticket to a title shot. Now, I think we might be overlooking Jason Rosario on this one here. I think, if he gets past, I mean, we know that the favorite is Charlo, but we can't look past Jason Rosario. If he ends up winning, then we have ourselves Lubin and Rosario, which is a little bit of a different, it's something fresh. It's not another, it's Charlo and Lubin. And so that's most likely what they're trying to set up, Lubin and Charlo rematch. But let's not overlook Rosario, because I'm looking forward to that fight, although I'm not going to order it on pay-per-view. But I'm not counting out Jason Rosario on that one there.
You said Lubin. Now, as a side note, for anybody wondering, I am today using news from FightNews.com, as always, in our long-standing memorial to Flat Top, probably one of the true standouts in boxing history. Hopefully he'll go into the Hall of Fame someday. That's my hope. With that said, the photo of Lubin that I'm looking at from last night was taken by Amanda Westcott. This note just in, and the Stephen Espinosa calculator, she makes more than Heather Heath Hardy. Just wanted to share that completely with everybody listening. As a side note to this story, thanks to Andrew, let's cover that as our next story. Showtime, Stephen Espinosa on COVID-19 battle. I was dead to the world at that point. This story by the world's fattest man and person I like to fat shame the most, Dan Rayfield. Please go follow him. He doesn't have followers. He doesn't have a TV show really anymore. He's not really asked to do much. And sadly, Andrew, here's a fun fact. I think the PBC's Charlo brother fight gets more shares than Dan Rayfield stories right now. Okay, fun fact. Showtime Sports President and General Manager Stephen Espinosa, who has overseen the network sports programming, oh God, he's phoning it in now. This is all one sentence. Dan, what have you become? Hold on. Showtime Sports President and General Manager Stephen Espinosa, who has overseen the network sports programming, includes its boxing franchise, since 2011, I'm not even making this up, gets numerous calls, texts and emails on any given day, period. That sentence made no sense. Dan has a great editor at ESPN. But those who were trying to get in touch with him in the past spring were met largely with silence. For what reason? ? Espinosa was quite ill with the COVID. I've never been in a situation where I was too sick to text or email, Espinosa said. BoxingScene.com in his first public remarks on his bout with the illness, and I could not pick up my head and I could not get it together enough to text people back or answer phone calls or write an email. Wow. Funny how an attorney is illiterate. Espinosa lives in Manhattan, where Showtime is based, and New York City. Oh, wait, we're back to another really bad sentence. Espinosa lives in Manhattan, where Showtime is based, and New York City, of course, I wish I was making this up. And New York City, of course, was the epicenter of the coronavirus pandemic in the United States this past spring. Wow. And then he just goes with a big full-on run sentence for the second half of that stanza or sentence, or what it was, a paragraph in one line. Like so many others, Espinosa caught the coronavirus. My girlfriend, Janina, who really hates my guts, but I have a lot of money and a small penis, and I both had it. And she left me shortly thereafter, Espinosa said. Imagine the worst flu you ever had and vomiting on a girl who thinks you're a troll. That combined with the worst hangover ever, because I kept her drunk, as well as myself, you can imagine at the same time, and this is what it felt like. Okay. Oh my God. He goes into detail about her, which is kind of creepy. I almost want to look her up because she used to work for the Lakers and for Kobe Bryant Memorial and probably got it there. So she's blaming it on working. Espinosa, you're a cock. First of all, you're blaming it on your chick, and that she got it by going to LA for the Kobe Bryant Memorial and probably got it there. She got sick as soon as she got back. She brought it back. Oh, dude, she's not sucking your dick anymore. She had it for several days, and I thought I was good, Espinosa said. You know, I don't want to go out on a limb, but didn't she go on a fucking plane? You fucking Yahoo?
Yeah, and
I
who is
mean,
the? I bet you there's a Clippers-like phone call. Remember the Clippers owner got fired when he didn't want his girlfriend hanging around with certain basketball players? Wonder if Espinoza has those same feelings.
I didn't think Espinosa could come off as a bigger dick, but I am wrong, said Lee Honish, comma. Espinosa is a huge cock-sucking dick, comma.
She was close to
And in
that
fact,
border.
he's a douchebag for throwing his girlfriend under the bus, comma, because she's kind enough to put her mouth on your penis, comma, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen, comma, ever, comma, again, said Lee Honish in a rebuttal to Dan Rayfield's article. And if that didn't make the regulars laugh their ass off, go fuck yourselves, guys. That's the best material I got today. Moving forward, all of those jokes, let's get to the real fight of the evening. I only watched some of this fight card, and here's how bad a fight card it was. I didn't get a press release from Top Rank about the fight, which I've never seen them not do. But I didn't get photos. I didn't get a press release. I don't know if the night was shitty, somebody dropped the ball, somebody didn't hit the send button, and I'm not throwing Top Rank under the bus. I'm just telling you, maybe I got taken off the mailing list. Maybe one too many Bob renditions. But with all of that said, that's right. Pedraza and their prospect, Baja, him, triumph in Vegas. Now, let's first talk about the Jaja Baga fight, shall we? I only got to watch half of it, and I assume I watched the half of the fight where Jaga Baga dominated the fight, because from when I started watching, he looked kind of 50-50 for the first couple of rounds, and then the fat guy with the block printing on his shorts that said Beepo or Bippo or whatever the fuck it said, who we'll never hear from again because he will go back to working in whatever factory he came out of. And by the way, whoever Ajabaga fought, that dude still made more money than Heather Heat Hardy in her last fight. I'm just saying it out loud for the room. Do Playboy, please. All right, moving forward. Did I miss this? Like, they gave him like unanimous decisions and scorecards that seemed to reflect that Ajabaga won every goddamn round in that fight, and that's not the half of the fight that I watched. I watched half of the fight where clearly Ajabaga was sort of gassing out at the end of this fight and actually took punches. I'll start with you, Andrew.
Yeah, you know, he was winning the fight, but he wasn't impressing anyone. I don't, you know, who was the opponent's name? I want
Rice.
Harris.
Rice wasn't there to win.
Johnny
He
Rice,
was a
yeah.
Rice is a journeyman. Rice is a sparring partner who plays his role. He showed glimpses of having enough arsenal to maybe hurt Ajaba, but he never did it. He never committed to doing it. He would just, you know, every once in a while he threw a perfect right hand, counter right hand, lead right hand, and it hit him every time. You would think, all right, bring it, let's go, keep going. No, go back to just taking punches, being a moving heavy bag. You know, it was a real letdown for Top Rank. This Ajagaba.
And rub a lamp while you say it.
He's
Hello, I'm the tree of the lamp.
He was an undefeated prospect from the PBC whose biggest highlight is of a fight where a man didn't want to fight him. The bell rings, he jumps out of the ring and leaves. And you got to remember, if you're a fan of Fight Net, I thought that fight was fixed. The next day I came on and I said I thought it was a fixed fight. Now they're talking about that man left the ring because he didn't like what he was getting paid. Mm-hmm. It seemed like a setup. I don't know how good this Ajabaga really is, because that's his highlight. Whenever you see him since that fight, that's the only thing they ever show. And after last night, guess what? There's still not another highlight you can show but the one of the guy walking out of the ring, which I thought was a fixed fight. Because, hear me out, that went around the world. That was viral. Every news outlet played it. Everyone, oh, did you see the guy so big and tough? The dude didn't even want to fight him. I mean, it was on ESPN. So that made more news than anything else he's done in his career. And after last night, that still makes more news than anything else he's done in his career. And I think Bob's got to be a little bit let down because of that. The fact, they were giving him a hard time that he said he needed 2 years to become a legit heavyweight. That is a long time. 2 years. I mean, you're really putting it out there like, hey, just keep feeding me these bums, and in about 2 years from now, I'll be ready to fight somebody. So I don't really know, what Top Rank's going to do with the guy. He doesn't look like he's anywhere ready for the top 10. I think he goes back to the off TV card, really. From what he showed last night, he needs a lot of improvement.
Before I turn it back over to Miguel, this is why I like Fight News, because they're still keeping the way they do their news alive. This is how they describe the fight for any of you wondering. In his top-ranked debut, undefeated heavyweight Efe Ajabaga, 14-0 and 11 KOs, took a workmanlike 10 rounds. What does workmanlike translate true, Andrew?
A boring-ass fight.
Yep. Unanimous decision over Johnny Rice, who was 13-6-1 with 9 KOs. Ajabaga got the win. The scores are insane. 98-92, 99-91, 99-91. But didn't impress. I'm sure I just heard that a few minutes ago from somebody on their show. He may have suffered a hand injury. I don't. Well, with that said, I turn to you, Miguel Antonio Barragan. Do you have anything to enlighten us about Efe? I can't Efe believe we have to watch Ajabaga.
I mean, nothing additionally as far as like insight goes. Yeah, we weren't impressed, right? When I saw Jonathan Rice, I thought, okay, this doughy motherfucker's get knocked down in a couple of rounds. That's pretty much what I was expecting because, frankly, that's kind of what we expect from a Jagba, if I can pronounce that shit right. But I mean, it didn't happen. Glad that Jacques can go 10 rounds. It's like, all right, he's a big muscular dude, and I'm thinking, all right, I want to make sure he can go 10 rounds. But Rice didn't look like he was there to win. I mean, he wasn't necessarily there to pick up the paycheck per se, but he seemed to have I guess it's just a moral victory with going 10 rounds with Ajagba, and Ajagba didn't exactly do. It's almost like he was looking for a reason to get knocked the fuck out, and Ajagba couldn't give him one. I mean, it wasn't impressive at all. I've seen Ajagba fight before. I've seen him get knocked down. I've seen him in some pretty exciting fights and knocking people out. Like the way most heavyweights are. He's 26 now. 2 more years of this crap, he's gonna be 28. I mean, I don't know like when he's expecting some sort of title shot, because I actually covered one of his fights maybe 2 years ago, and I asked him and Ronnie Shields that was next to him then. I said, hey, what kind of title shot we're looking at? Maybe about year and a half. That was already like 2 years ago, and he's barely here. So
now they're 4 years.
All right, I'm gonna explain this to you, pumpkin heads. All right, I'm gonna explain my long-term plan. I am going to transfer my brain into a computer so I'll be alive forever. Did you ever see that damn Avengers movie with Captain America and that hot chick with the red hair who married the stupid guy from Saturday Night Live? Her and Cap, right? They're in a computer with the spinning reels. I saw that on the screen and I thought, I can do that because I got millions. So I've already got that plan. So with that said, Tyson Fury has made it clear what his timeline is for the next 18 months. And by then, I'll be able to stick in Pulev, maybe even Big Boy or Little Boy or Baby Boy. I don't know what the fuck his name is anymore. And a couple of other fucking ham and eggers after he beats Joshua and Deontay, because we all know that's going to happen. And then by then, I'll be able to move up this asshole Chaga Baga Jar Jar Binks, and he can get knocked out because I'll keep pumping him fucking bums. Ta-da!
But he's got to knock him out. He's got to look impressive. Like, you can't have – this fight was so boring. Did anyone catch in the 7th round, it looked like one of the spectators had fallen asleep? One of the commissioner, a judge, I don't know who she was. She's in the corner of Rice, Jonathan Rice, he said his name was. She's sitting on that side, and it looks like she was asleep halfway through the round. And maybe she was writing, maybe she's looking for something under the table, but her head is slammed down and she looks out. The next round in the 8th, she's walking around in the back. And that's when I kind of said, that's when I was like, I think she was asleep. I think they told if someone kicked her chair or something, she had to stand up and take a few breaths in the back to come back and last the rest of that snooze fest that was in the ring. I don't blame her if she was asleep. Hey, listen, you want to know why I seen you? Because I wasn't interested with what was going on in the ring either. I was talking to my cousin. I was like, hey, is she asleep? Is that girl asleep? And she looks out for a few seconds. Yes, sir.
With all of that said, how did we feel about the evening of the Top Rank? Andrew?
Well, we still had the main event to go, Molina and Pedraza. Turned out.
Yes, I'm trying to talk about any of the unbeaten kids that they kind of stuffed down our throats earlier in the day. You started about 4:30. Miguel, what time did you start? Did you get to see any of the kids?
I want to say the one before the Ajagua fight, the Ramirez and was it Caraballo one? I think I was able to catch that one.
Looked like Cotto's. Looked like that dude was related to Cotto, the kid from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Better check his DNA, man. Cotto might have been slipping one night.
Oh, or many nights.
Well, that does indeed take us to the main event of the evening. Yes, the fight you've all been waiting for. Well, nobody said that. Pedraza, Jose the Sniper Pedraza returned and wins a 10-round unanimous decision over 2008 U.S. Olympian Javier Molina. I believe this is the Molina from Covina. Am I correct? Or is this the Molina from Riverside? I can't ever remember, Miguel. We've got more Molinas in California that box than I could shake a stick at. We also have more Molinas per capita than any other state in the union. I just thought I'd share that as well. In a junior welterweight bout on Saturday night inside the MGM bubble, no, it's the conference center, Pedraza pretty much controlled the whole fight. I actually got to watch the fight with a former amateur boxer who at one point he finally turned off because he was like texting 10 girls at the same time. And I said, is that distracting for you? He goes, no, I just have to keep the story straight. I said, sucks to be young. And then he stopped and he started to watch Pedraza, and it was about the 6th or 7th round where he started to turn it on and just peppered the holy living shit out of Molina. I don't know what kept Molina on his feet at the end of the fight, especially that big right hand that came over the top that rolled him into the corner and Pedraza jumped on him. And it happened a couple of times. I think it happened once in the 10th and again in the 12th, but he never went in for the kill. Overall, I thought it was a friendly fight. But again, how does Pedraza get back to getting a title shot? Here's my questions. 1, did we see and learn anything? 2, does Pedraza deserve another shot at a title? And number 3, is he going to escape the 2 losses? I mean, I don't want to be the dick who comes into reality here, but dude, you kind of lost. That's why you kind of like are fighting your way back up to this, and you're in the bubble in Vegas and not sitting around on the bench with the other all-stars. But he seems to think that I'm next. What did you do that makes you next exactly? I mean, I've reviewed the record. What did he do other than, yes, he was a 2-weight former champ, blah, blah, blah. You know what? If you give me long enough and the internet and a computer long enough, I'm pretty sure I can be a former 2-division champion I'll create the organization, okay? It's kind of bullshitty. So I'll start with you on this, Miguel. What did we learn? Does he deserve the title shot? Should he be as overly confident as he is? Why is he shaving his head to make himself look more like Miguel Cotto for some reason? Because he does. He's kind of does. He's kind of doing the Miguel. Like, did Bob take him to fashion school and go, need another Cotto? It's Pedraza. I need another Puerto Rican. All right, you're up first, Miguel.
All right. Well, Pedraza is definitely Puerto Rican, so I can understand why he's trying to, recapture the magic of Cotto. But I mean, first off, last night he fought at junior welterweight, which I think is 140, which isn't where he fought before. I guess his losses his loss to Lomachenko and Cepeda, I believe they were at 135. So I think I don't know if he's going to stay at 140 or kind of like a stay busy fight at 140, but if he does stay at 140, it's kind of a fresh start for him. It's kind of a fresh batch of people. I think he can get another title shot because he did look great yesterday. Like, his nickname is perfect, the sniper. That left hand was just accurate as shit. Like, when he threw that left hand, it was just a thing of beauty. Even the way he dropped Beltran some years back with that left uppercut, man, it was beautiful. So that nickname is perfect. So accurate with that left hand, well, both hands for that matter, but primarily his left. And I think he's good. He's kind of a good, like, opponent, I guess, if I can call him that, because I've heard Teofimo plans to move up to 140. Should he win this fight against Lomachenko? So I think Teofimo moves up to 140, and we have also good Teofimo and a fight as an opponent. Pedraza, I think he can get himself a title shot. I think so. Yeah.
Andrew.
What's that, Lee? What's the question? What makes him?
Whatever. Just talk about Pedraza for a couple of minutes. It's really just a gap filler. I mean, the fight was fairly okay. It didn't blow my mind. I think the last 4 rounds were good, but other than that, I mean, Pedraza is a guy you feed to champions to make a champion look good in a 12-round fight. That's what I think he is. I think,
and you're probably right on that. Listen, I think they wanted Molina last night. Molina, even though he has 2 defeats, he's not as exposed, I guess you could say, as Pedraza is in the main light, right? Losing in the big time fights. But Molina didn't show up. He has 2 defeats. He blamed it on partying. I'm gonna blame it on his power. He has the wrong style for the opponents that he's facing, or the opposition that he's facing. Now that he's getting higher in the rankings, you either gotta be a master boxer when you don't have a lot of power, or things aren't going to go right for you. And I think that happened again to Molina last night. He's standing inside the pocket, trading with the guy that is nicknamed the Sniper, a guy that's already been a world champion. And was I impressed with Pedraza? Yes. It was a good fight. They exchanged blows. They exchanged a lot of fouls. I don't know if you guys seen the head bunts, the low blows, they were throwing elbows like it was an MMA fight. Even Molina did a very good job of throwing his elbow all night. I think he was trying to pay him back when he got cut with the head. It was just, it was decent, but at the end, I was left saying, you just beat a prospect who never developed. So what is this really? Who are you to say I need a shot at the champion now? Molina, I think that we're coming to the end of the road. He said he didn't want to work in a warehouse. It looks like he's going back to the warehouse. He just doesn't have enough power. If he wants to be a pro fighter, he needs to be lighter on his feet, move around the ring, stay behind a jab. But you staying inside the pocket with 9 knockouts out of, 20-something fights, it's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. When you're fighting bums on the way up, and not that. When you're fighting guys, there's showcase matches, right? You're guys that your management team's trying to put in front of you that you're supposed to stop, and you're not even giving 50% on that. It's going to be real hard when you start going up in the rankings. So, Molina, I think we've probably seen the end of him in the big time fights. And Pedraza, we'll get another shot because it was a main event. He held the card down. It was an exciting fight. He has somewhat of a name, so he'll move forward. And that's about all you can take away from there. But no, him beating Molina doesn't make me think that he's the next superstar coming out of the boxing world.
That does it. You're all caught up on fights. That takes us now to the wonderful world of fight news. This news brought to you by Fight News, the same place that brought you the other fight news. Turn to fightnews.com, where you get fight news, where I keep talking about fight news. Here's the little interlude part. Visit us on social media and follow us at fight.net.radio, Or follow Migs at Fight Fiend Migs. He posts stuff that seems to be important. Someday he'll actually be able to go videotape and do some of the stuff he's good at. Now that he has a real microphone and I can hear him, he's kind of impressive on the microphone too. So, can I just do an interlude about how the Chargers literally took my dick out of my pants and hit me with a hammer tonight?
Damn it.
I don't know what it's like to be a Raider fan. I don't. I'm sure you have a lot of heartbreak.
Oh,
But
whatever.
what happened to me today, I saw a rookie quarterback come in at the start of the game instead of Tyrod Bonehead Taylor, who had rib injuries, and literally put a team on his back and dominate the Kansas City Chiefs for 3.5 quarters. At which point the Chargers did what the Chargers do.
Exactly.
They gave up the game, took it to overtime, where here's how bad the Chargers are with luck. So they push him back far enough that he's got to make a 56-yard kick to win the game. The 55-yard kick to win, 53. First one was 53. He kicks it, he makes it, but his team was a false start, so they got to go back 5 yards. Now it's a 58-yard kick. Wait, for any of you who didn't watch this or know nothing about pro football. Now the next kick is from 58, where the Chargers call timeout just before the snap. He lands and makes that 58-yard kick as well.
Eesh.
Wait, now it's all reloaded. Final play of the game. The ball is down, the kick is up, and he hit another 58-yard kick. By the way, his longest kick at that point in the NFL was 53 yards. He's now kicked 2 consecutive 58-yard kicks. And the Chargers then reached through the TV, grabbed my dick. I'm pretty sure it was LaDainian Tomlinson on one of those PSAs. Put it on a table, opened up the drawer in the table, pulled out a hammer that I didn't even know was at the drawer in the table next to the TV, and then began to smash my dick with a hammer going, "Why are you a fan of this team?" I saw it. I could have been having a flashback of some kind, but I just wanted to share my angst and record my angst. Thank you. Let's move forward. Andrew will be that on Monday night when they play the New Orleans Saints. Or should I say
Football
Miguel
took
will,
football took a real beating this weekend. I don't know if forcing these guys to play with no practice, no preseason games was actually the smart idea. I mean, I think we had
with Christian McCaffrey out, with Saquon Barkley
out,
Barkley's out for
Bosa
the
out,
season.
Bosa's
out in
took
San
out
Francisco.
season.
Actually, half of San Francisco's team is out for the
Yeah,
season
it was
based
bad.
on their game.
And the same with the Jets. The Jets lost 3 or 4 men in the same ball game. I mean, there was carts everywhere. It's a very rough sport. You got to prepare yourself, and sometimes, just telling your coach, "Yeah, coach, I'm working out here at the house. I'll be ready," isn't really getting yourself prepared for what these guys put out there in the field when money is on the line. And so it hopefully the NFL did not lose a bunch of future stars because they were forcing them to go out there and make that money when they weren't ready. But the names you just said, Barkley, Bosa, these guys were rookies last year that were supposed to be taking the NFL in the next 10 years. Okay, hold on. And now they have, we're having a little technical difficulties. Baby, here, take that. And now they're all injured with some significant injuries that could really damper their future. They come back from ACL tears, but are they the same? Will they run as fast? Will he have the same, is he going to have that in the back of his mind while his $100 million contract is at stake, right? Sometimes it's like, I don't want to get injured now. I need to make that money in the next 5 years, next 10 years. So real bad luck for the NFL, but I think it's their fault. The football is not a game you ask men to just come back and play after not being prepared.
There you go. That's your musical interlude. If you're wondering why I'm not asking Miguel, the answer's simple. He doesn't like football for some goddamn un-American reason.
It's not that I don't
Savage.
necessarily like it. It's that it doesn't do it for me anymore. Once I got into fighting, boxing and MMA, it totally took over. So I have little to no desire
You have
to
a
watch any of
team
the
now.
sports.
You have a
Oh,
I
we do.
hockey team.
Well, we have a
I
hockey team,
will.
kind of. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to tell my friend out in Las Vegas. Not you, just you, Miguel. But we have
Mhm.
Willie out in Las Vegas. It's not, the Niners. Yes, their season is probably over, but you still got your Raiders. Raiders are right up the street. He can
Mhm.
cheer for them now too. Um,
Are you cheering for San Francisco?
No, hell no. I was actually, not giggling, but I wasn't shedding a tear when I seen all those guys go down.
What an asshole. You might as well become a Charger fan at this point.
I will say, without being in fantasy football, I watched one game this week. I watched two games last week. It's just and really I watched the Niners because of my friend, because that's what we talk about when it's football season. Is
Well,
the
yeah, you
Raiders
like to talk
Niners?
shit with him, as do
Yes,
I. That's usually his.
yes.
First, he checks
So
on me. Wait, let me tell you how my will calls go. Are you alive? Yeah. Have you talked to any women? No. Okay, your Chargers suck. Yeah. And you
and
got the
then
better
just starts
Bosa.
bashing
What's
you.
the point? Now, when he calls, I can go, I've got the only Bosa in the NFL.
Yeah, it's really weird, but I have no interest in Thursday night, Monday night, any of these Sunday games. My player,
Oh,
when you're in fantasy,
I got 3 fantasy teams going. It's
exactly.
occupying all my time.
Yeah, when you're in fantasy, it does make a difference of watching those other games.
And by the way, just so it's of record, because I know Andrew's going to be one of my groomsmen on the fateful day when I actually do marry one of the women I bought a ring for, or the next one I buy a ring for. He wants to give the toast. He wants to tell the whole story of all the rings, which I'm like,
no,
this is
no, I
not,
don't.
bro,
Oh,
this is
jeez.
not the Lord of the Rings or anything. Like, I can't even believe you. Like, that's a thought in your head. He goes, it's gonna happen.
I can't believe we've actually gotten to this day. Believe me, Lee has tried many times. No, I'm just kidding.
It's the same speech he had, roughly. That's you basically. I should just give you both the microphone and go, tell the tale of Schmegel and the rings. Tell him how he had to climb to the mountain and toss the rings into the fire. Oh my God. This is the story that started in a shire where a simple man started engaging to women repeatedly, decade upon decade, looking for the true one. Yeah, no, come on, what the fuck? At least if you did it that way, it would sound like Lord of the Rings. Shout out to all the Lord of the Rings fans. That was just for you. I don't do Schmegel. Let's do boxing news, kids. That's right. We actually have some boxing news. Let's start off with yet another joke just because it's funny. Hey, Showtime Boxing returns on October 7th with the Showbox card. The only reason I bring that up is because you've never heard of either of these fighters, Conwell or Toussaint. We have not, nor will you get any commentary. What's funny to me about this, I believe they're guys, but here's who's fighting. Charles Conwell, 12-0, 9 KOs, and Wendy Toussaint, 12-0 with 5 KOs. Anybody? Anybody?
Nope.
Are they actually doing men versus women, or do we think that Wendy is actually a man? Or Charles is a woman?
Damn it. That's a good one, Lee.
Wait,
Damn it.
and I'll go a step further. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that both of these fighters are making more money than Clarissa Shields made on her last fight. I went a long way for that joke. You guys can all work that out. Feel free to go on social media and comment. Lee is a misogynist. Am I? Am I really? Think about it. Moving forward, Matchroom inks a deal with heavyweight Zhang Zhili. Why, Lee, are you telling us about Zhang Zhili? Well, here's the thing. There is one casino that is open. There is one country that is reopening. And there is one country that doesn't give a flying shit about COVID, and that's China and Macau, China. And if you are Eddie Hearn and you own the heavyweight champion of the world and you want to make hundreds of millions of dollars, wouldn't you, tell me if I'm wrong, a 21-0 with 16 KO Chinese star named Zhang Zhil? Andrew, would you do it?
Is he the heavyweight?
Yeah, he's the heavyweight.
Is this is this the guy that was fighting for Top Rank with Freddie Roach?
No,
Oh, I don't
that
know
was
him
the
then.
lighter weight guy. You
Nah, he
are
was a
getting
heavyweight, man.
racist.
He was like 7 foot
All
tall or
Chinese people
something.
do not look the same, Andrew. You're being
I
racist.
know. I'm being a dick, but that's who I thought maybe it was when you said undefeated heavyweight.
No, that
signed with.
was not a heavyweight. In
Yes,
fact, I
he
can't
was.
remember the last heavyweight that Freddie were. No, he wasn't. He was
Oh
like a
my
middleweight or a welterweight.
Oh
and he
my
was
gosh.
No, he was not a heavyweight.
Miguel, will you tell him about the
Yes.
7 foot China guy? China guy.
My little China
Yes.
guy. My little China guy.
He reminded me of that big heavyweight Nikolai.
Oh, Valiev. Yeah.
Valdi. Yes, he looked
would
like
be like
that.
Okay.
Big
all
and
right.
clumsy. Yeah, threw very slow
Did he
punches.
have the Cro-Magnon man head with the little lip over his eyebrow that looks like he's from the Cretaceous period? Yes, people, I said Cretaceous. I have my memory back.
I actually thought
Uh,
Holyfield beat Nikolai too. He should have been a 5-time
Oh
heavyweight.
yeah, that was pathetic. I saw that
Yeah.
one. That shit was garbage.
By the way, that was our only throwaway story of the evening. Let's get to the real news now. Loma Lopez undercard has been revealed. The undercard for the Loma Lopez fight, which would be good enough on plain old regular ESPN, would be enough for one boxing fan's wet dream. They're going to throw in Alexis Salcido versus Arnold Barbosa Jr. In the junior welterweights. Edgar Berlanga versus Lanel Bellows in a winner will get a green card fight. And Clay Collard, just some white dude we want to beat up, taking on Quincy Lavallais. If you've never heard of any of these people other than Alex Salcido, then you would be correct. That means that Top Rank is banking that you will spend all evening waiting for Loma and Lopez. The event will probably take 3 hours. These 3 fights will take 15 minutes, and you will be packed in with tons and tons of vignettes and build-ups. And
They
maybe
also
Yeah.
Lee took 99.9% of the budget of that fight card, and that's why we have the undercard we do.
Hey, fast fact about this fight card. Clay Collard, who you're never going to hear from again except on this night, made more money than Heather Heath Hardy in her last fight. Okay.
Hey, now is Clay Collard, is he the guy that's been from the MMA tearing it up in
Yes.
boxing?
Yep.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
pretty
Getting all these
exciting.
like young cut sets. Yeah,
Yeah.
At the very least, we're gonna get some sort of exciting fight out of that
That's
one
right.
because Clay comes. He's not the most technical dude, but he comes to throw. He throws for every minute of every of 6 rounds. If he catches you, he'll catch you. He'll eat a punch too. So yeah, this guy definitely comes to fight for sure.
Yeah,
Miguel,
Bob Arum knows how to use them. They keep him with the right opposition. He breaks
Yep.
the will of a lot of these fighters. I don't know how he's going to do once again when he gets to the skilled ranks, but yes, he is pretty. He will break a man down that is not ready for his fury. All he does is throw punches, Lee. He comes straight at you, and he just keeps throwing.
Yeah, and like no jab or anything. I mean, he'll do throw jabs, but it's like he'll throw this like weird 3-2-3 combo, and just like holy shit, this guy's coming out of nowhere. And he's rough, he'll get in there and he'll throw down with you. And I mean, at the very least, we're gonna get somewhat of an exciting hit on this undercard here. And he's actually like the Iron Man. This dude has fought like 5 times this year, seriously,
Right.
like within a month of one another. So they're like, hey, you want to come back one more time? We'll do this one more time before the year ends.
you guys are both aware I don't have alcohol to make that extremely long 2-hour undercard work for me, right? Because it's going to take at least, if they don't squeeze 3 hours out of that fight card, I will literally be speechless. Moving forward to our 2 biggest stories of the week. Let's see. Do we want to go Floyd or do we want to go Canelo? So many choices.
There's also an attachment to the Floyd card. So go Canelo
let's
first because you
go
got
with
2
Floyd
out of the
first.
Floyd.
All right.
All right. Go ahead.
You wanted to go with the Canelo update?
No.
Because
Go ahead.
Oscar
Do whatever
spoke.
you want to do, bro. It's your. Go ahead and knock it out.
No, it's not. It really isn't my show anymore. It's the people. I give it back to the people. That's my Bane impersonation. I don't have the. I give it back to the people. The city is yours. Floyd Mayweather is taking on Logan Paul. Yep, you heard that correctly. Floyd Mayweather hasn't figured out the next primate to fight. He was going to fight a tiger. He was going to fight a shark, but no, he's changed his mind and Logan Paul is cashing out. A rumor that ring legend Floyd Mayweather Jr. is fighting YouTube personality, that's a stretch. Logan Paul blew up on social media Wednesday. Reportedly, Mayweather and Paul have signed a contract, and the fight will be an exhibition taking place later this year. If true, the 43-year-old Floyd, a welterweight, would be giving up some sizes. Paul 25 is a cruiserweight. He'd still get knocked out. For those of you wondering, oh, he's bigger, and I love Logan. Please take a picture of you in front of something so you're great and say something funny. If it were a real fight, okay, we're getting caught in this Conor McGregor shit again. Okay, so let's discuss it. Is there any way on God's green earth, other than Floyd making money on the round he knocks him out in, because there will be prop betting, is there any chance at all that Logan Paul can even do one round if Floyd was real? I start with you, Miguel.
No, absolutely not. If we're thinking about an exhibition fight, is it going to be similar to Floyd's fight in Japan, where it's like 3 rounds? I mean, 3 rounds, really. I'm pretty sure Floyd can go hard for 3 rounds. Even at this stage, he won't need to take any rounds off. If he was really out there to fuck, Logan up, he absolutely would. Forget the weight, what is it? The weight difference. That's not going to be an advantage.
He's got to be at least a foot taller than him as well.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, what Logan is athletic. He's an athlete. He actually has a wrestling background, which is going to help him for jack shit here. But I mean, he had that one match with that other YouTuber on a DAZN card. I mean, I don't know. This is on an obvious cash grab. When I read this, I was like, oh God, please no. I hope this isn't going to really happen. But I mean, it clearly looks like Floyd has run out of all of his options. How quickly is he running out of money that he's stooping to the depths of fighting a fucking YouTube star?
Well, that's because the people from Good Mythical Morning, both of those guys didn't accept the fight with Floyd, and that would have been a much quicker evening. And he could have fought both of them. There's a shout out to me knowing YouTube stars. Andrew,
Yes.
what do you think when you read the story?
I think if we boycott this fight, Floyd will come back to boxing because he's running out of money. Listen, he's going to keep doing these circus acts until nobody's supporting it, and then he's going to have to do something else, and that's come back to boxing because that's just the lifestyle he lives. Even though whoever follows Floyd, he's really slowed down on the whole traveling around the world. Look at my private jet. I'm here spending $20 million on a watch. We haven't seen any of this, at least me personally. I follow Floyd on social media. I haven't seen him do that in a while. No, has anyone seen him win a bet here at all this year? No betting, no traveling. Maybe it's COVID. Maybe it's Floyd, financial advisors starting to talk to him about, you're going to live about another 40, 50 years there, guy. If you're healthy, you're going to be on this planet for a while still. You need to slow down on what you're spending. So it's a fucking circus act. Don't watch. This is worse than McGregor. Come on, people. You know what they're going to sell this one as? He's going to be a heavyweight and Floyd's going to be a junior middleweight or a super welterweight.
Yeah, this sounds a whole lot like the shit we did at the sports arena. He's a tiny guy. He's a big, tall guy.
Yes. They already said it. They said that Logan's going to be able to come in at like 190. Okay. And so probably on steroids. And I don't think there's going to be any testing or anything because Floyd should be able to wax this kid, even though he's bigger and on the juice.
Yes.
With that being said, his little brother was now being called out. Did you guys hear about this?
Shitty Paul?
Shitty Paul, whatever you want to say. The king of social media and boxing, the fake one, if you ask Lee, Ryan Garcia has now called out. Thank you, Ben. Has now called out.
Why not?
The other Logan. And he has accepted, saying, I will give you your first defeat, Pee-wee. So that could be coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, probably on the undercard. I mean, why not? I mean, seriously. So I'm going to put it out there once again. Logan and his brother in the same night. Shit. Let's put it in a cage. I'll take them both one at a time. I'm completely okay with this. And I'll do a catch weight for both of them, whatever they come up with. 170 to 180 is fine. Somewhere between both of them. And here's why. One's not going to come in at the right weight. The other one's going to be really small. Cool. I'll only have to fight one of them. I'll tell the other one who's going to show up roided up and screaming all the funny words. And then I'll just have to fight the little guy. And I'm pretty sure the little guy doesn't know shit about being on the ground. So I probably got a good shot there. I'm willing for Fight Net Radio and its fans to risk my life and my health and my career once again, Andrew, against the Pauls.
I don't know if you carry a bigger name than the guys that are calling them out now.
I don't. That's why I sent you the photo when I actually carried the name, because
Right.
that's pre all this. If the thing that I just sent the picture of to you was happening right now, yeah, I could get that. That would have been next on it.
Yeah, it's sad. I don't know what the hell Mayweather's doing. I don't know what he thinks.
Well, he's running out of money at this. He's running out of options. He's running out of money. This isn't like, Mayweather and Berto, for fuck's sake. We're talking about a dude who has little to no combat sport experience, no professional boxing bouts, no amateur background. His profession isn't even fighting at all. So there's just it's a real it's a reach, man. It's just like, God damn it. These are, whatever. I know that a lot of people hold Floyd up on this pedestal because of what he's done, and that's not going to be taken away because he's accomplished what he's accomplished anyway. But like, what the fuck? What is this? This is so bad. Like every time I was going to post it on my social media, like, oh hell no, but I'm so over Floyd and anything he does now, I didn't even want to give him the time of day.
Yeah, no, that's what we need to do, and then you'll see him make his way back. He will cash in on that maybe Manny Pacquiao fight Lee has been dying for 5 years.
I was just going to ask you that. If he gets lured back into the ring, if his money runs out quicker and he needs to get into the ring against a legitimate boxer, you think it's going to be Manny?
At this point, yes. That's the only fight Floyd probably can still win. I don't know.
You don't think Triple G?
No, Triple G's too big, and I don't see Floyd challenging. There's not enough money. That Pacquiao has so many followers, and they've been craving for that rematch. Literally, there's Pacquiao fans that still believe he won the first fight. Like they argue about this shit still, and you see people shut. Yeah, it's really sad, man, and I think they would tune right in. And if Floyd was to give Manny his first defeat, they're buying the third fight too. So he gets 2 checks, and you call those retirement checks and get your ass out of Dodge.
Yeah, I agree. That's good.
Don't be surprised if there's a big bet in Las Vegas against Floyd.
For those of you wondering, Andrew basically just said, I'm not a big enough star for Logan Paul.
Not at this current moment.
By the way, that was my takeaway from that. Last but not least, the Canelo lawsuit update. Oscar did speak. Speak, boy, speak. Well, for those of you, here's what he had to say. Here's what Oscar had to say. This coming to us, of course, from again, Fight News. Are you telling me all you guys got was a single quote? This is really sad, by the way. While yesterday's order does not end the case, we are hopeful that this error will allow us to reset and refocus on what's important. Working together to get Canelo back in the ring against a top opponent ASAP. If not, we expect Canelo's lawyers will now enter arbitration as is laid out in our contract. Now, tell me this doesn't reek, Andrew. I be thinking about fighting someone. Like, this is literally us. Here's what I think. I think this is what he's thinking. And if that doesn't work, then I think they'll go to arbitration. But I could be wrong because I don't really know shit about the law. Basically, he's basically guessing because the case got thrown out the other day, and they're hoping for the lawsuit needed to be amended. For those of you who don't know, here's the exact breach. Canelo's attorney designated the defendants incorrectly. Canelo has until the end of the month to amend the lawsuit. All right, so the loophole's buying some time. Oscar be thinking about thinking. DAZN is still quiet. I guess Oscar still is Golden Boy, so I guess he's speaking for Golden Boy and Oscar. I guess this is the question. I'd be thinking this. I'd be thinking Canelo be thinking about going, and I think that Oscar better be thinking about losing Canelo. I start with you, Andrew.
Oscar can't lose Canelo until the contract's over with. We've seen this happen multiple times in boxing where guys try to get out of contracts, and really the only thing that happens is they hit the sidelines until that contract's dead, from just both parties not wanting to work with each other. I don't see Oscar being that kind of a manager or promoter. I think he would sideline Canelo until Canelo wants to fight again. And to be honest with you, I think it's unfair what Canelo's doing to Oscar De La Hoya. I've told you guys this last week. Oscar made Canelo. You know, when people were talking about Canelo was nothing more than a paper champ, winning his WBC titles and his WBO titles on vacant shots against nobodies. Oscar got him $15 million the night he fought Floyd Mayweather. Paper champion, probably paid like a real one, and that's because of your promoter. Then he turns around and signs the biggest deal boxing had ever seen, making him 35 million, netting 35 million per fight, $300 fucking million deal. It's really sad. And then when you look at the opponents that Oscar tried to put in the ring with him, that it's DAZN that is turning them down. It has nothing to do with Oscar. What I would look at on the DAZN part is, are they the ones that are trying to rob Canelo by telling Eddie Hearn not to have his guys sign for, 5 million, 4 million? They're the ones that wasn't it Billy Joe Sanders complaining about the price they were giving him, even though he was going to make millions? And Billy Joe Sanders don't make millions of dollars. He's not fucking Saul Alvarez. He's not even close. His shot to fame right now is that he smokes crack and puts out videos of how to beat your wife and how to pick up on hookers. I mean, what's the last thing Billy Joe Sanders done in the ring? What was his magical night where we're like, oh my God, I gotta see this guy fight?
It is stellar branding. Look, until Billy Joe did that, we didn't know jack diddly squat other than he was dumb white in English.
Yeah, and Tyson Fury's friend, and this is all things out of the ring. So it's kind of sad that Eddie Hearn and them aren't telling them, no, you need to take this fight. This is legit money, and if you beat him, you get a rematch and a bigger purse. Why would you not take the fight?
Miguel?
Well, I mean, it sucks that it has to get to this point. I've said it once before, I'll say it again. I love the sport of boxing. I do not love the business of boxing. Shit like it happens. I know. I understand sometimes this needs to happen. I feel like this can put Canelo on ice for and which isn't good. We've seen it. Some guys have been able to come back. Like I think it was Andre Ward who was trying to get out of his Rock Nation track or some shit, or
and Guzin.
And Guzin, yeah. Exactly. And then even Mikey Garcia trying to get out of Top Rank, he was just put on ice for a little bit, and they were able to recover. So, there's hope that, Canelo, he is the face of boxing. So, I'm almost confident. I mean, I'll almost guarantee you that he's going to be able to recover from this, but he doesn't need to be sidelined or ice for this, maybe a couple of years or so. It's a bummer. I think we talked about it last week. I'm quite sure why he was even doing De La Hoya to begin with, but it's pretty obvious that he's trying to get out of that contract. De La Hoya has at the very least another superstar in Ryan Garcia, at least star in the making. So I don't think Golden Boy will be dead per se if they lose Canelo, but it would definitely be a big ass ding.
They're years away from a $300 million contract, though.
Yeah,
and that's what they already have with Saul. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if Saul is the face of boxing anymore with the heavyweight division where it's at with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Social media wise, they are dominating him with followers. Globally, they are dominating him with fans, a fan base. These guys are known everywhere. Saul Alvarez, man, he's the face of Mexican boxing. He might be the face of a Mexican American boxing, but I don't know.
He's the question I get most asked. Period. especially around where I am right now. Everybody wants, hey, do you know what's going on with Canelo?
Yeah, and like I said, Mexican boxing, Mexican American boxing, I totally agree. But the face of boxing, Tyson Fury made a big impression in that Deontay Wilder 2 fight. Anthony Joshua has been here. Yes, he had a step back with Andy Ruiz, but when these two start talking about fighting each other, they're gonna take off. Who's Saul got but a fucking old ass Triple G? No one really cares about anymore in America. Triple G, he's so far from HBO now. The HBO days. Remember when he was like the dark horse of the division? No one wanted to fight him. He's this destroyer guy. He's not that guy anymore. You got Callum Smith, who's not known in America at all. You got Billy Joe Saunders, who I just said his shot to glory is everything outside of the ring and not what he's done in the ring. The light heavyweights, Arthur Beterbiev, that's the fight. They're like, and
Arthur
Beterbiev. That's the one. Listen, as a diehard, yes, we know that that's a good fight. The general public, no, that's not turning any heads. So,
or even at super middleweight, like if we even stick with the super middleweights, we have Caleb Plant or Benavidez. Like for us, it's like, oh yeah, those are some killer ass fights, but no one knows who the fuck these guys are.
That's right. So there's some things that need to be worked out here. Saul needs to get off his high horse just a little. There is not. Listen, they gave us the numbers, man. The guy makes $30 million a fight. In the both Triple G fights, he made $24 million at the gate and $27 million at the gate. That's significant money paying off a huge price on a fighter. Without that crowd, that's a lot of money DAZN has to come out of the pocket with to try to make up. They probably weren't ready for that. This was a young company. Yeah, they have investors and a lot of money, but still, it is a lot easier to put a $30 million, $35 million fighter in the ring with another guy who wants, $5 to $8 million. It's a lot easier to do that when you have a gate of $24 to $27 million coming in. So, they have to sit down. They have to be reasonable on where we are right now in the times. And like I said last week, you want your money? Take your ass somewhere where they can have fans. Stop trying to act like you're holding down Las Vegas or the Dallas stadium. No, it ain't there right now. So you want your money? Go over to the UK, go over to Dubai, go put on a show somewhere where people will pay to watch you. And that's really all I got for Saul Alvarez. But I don't blame Oscar. It is fucking sad. And I told you, I think he does it because he's jealous of De La Hoya, just like I think Ryan Garcia is jealous of De La Hoya. It's De La Hoya is Oscar, man. He's the golden boy when he steps in that room. Everyone still loves him. And I think it really pisses Saul off. So I think a lot of his hate towards Oscar is just Oscar being Oscar. Really has nothing to do with what he did to his career, because man, that kid has had a lot of paydays for the way people talked bad about him growing up in this sport. Oscar paid him nicely.
There you go. That will do all the news that we have for this week. Would you like to give them all 15 minutes of bonus content? I do have something for that. I will let the panel vote. I start with you, Miguel. How do you vote? Yay or nay on 15 minutes of additional content for the semi-loyal Fight Net Radio crowd? By the way, I haven't gotten any cards from anybody in the Fight Net Radio family, but hey, fuck you. Miguel, how do you vote?
I'll go with yay. Yeah.
Ooh, one yay. Andrew, how do you vote? Yay or nay?
Yay, let's go.
Do 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 do. That's right, everybody. Hello, my name's Mauro Ranallo, and welcome to Boxing Jeopardy. That's right, Boxing Jeopardy brought to you by nobody. Why? Because nobody would ever watch this show. Let's turn to our host, Lee Honish. Thanks, Mauro. Let's get started, everybody. Today, for Boxing Jeopardy, let's test our buzzers first. Andrew, how's your buzzer?
Very good. It's working.
Thank you.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's close enough.
Okay.
Miguel, how's your? What will your buzzer be?
My buzzer's working just fine. I was just looping it.
Oh, you've got a loop for it. Wow. Hope you don't lose out on this one.
Yeah.
Today, our categories are Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson. Also, Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson, and you guessed it, Mike Tyson. Let's get this party started. I start with you, Miguel. Andrew started last time first. Go ahead, and the board is yours.
All right. We will start with Mike Tyson for 100, please, Lee.
Outstanding. Let's get started right out of the gate. Mike Tyson's birthday.
Oh, I'll buzz in.
I'll take the year. I'm gonna make this easy on you. Let's just go with the year.
Yeah, I have no idea.
71. 1971. 1971. Oh, what is 1971? Shit.
What is 1968?
That would be my year. That would make him 52, and he'd probably still be boxing. It was June 30th, 1966. Miguel, the board is still yours after those two wrong answers.
Try to do it fast, damn it.
Man, that was horrible. You guys are starting off really bad.
Why?
Yeah, I guess.
Go ahead.
We'll go with we'll stick with Mike Tyson for 200, please.
Fantastic. It's an easy one this time because I realized the level of your Tyson knowledge here. That's the name of the city he was brought up in.
Oh, I'll buzz in.
Oh, yeah, that's easy.
What is Catskill, New York?
Wow. My God, I should have done Chavez.
Yeah,
I realize now, production-wise.
What is Brownsville, Brooklyn, baby?
Oh my God, no.
Oh shit.
Now I'm starting to see the magic of this game show. What is Brooklyn?
I just said Brownsville, Brooklyn.
Brownsville is not a thing.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you. All right, I'm going to give it to you. All right? All right, calm down. Andrew,
Don't
you have
piss
control
me
of the
off.
board. And the lead. You have the lead and control of the board.
Tyson for 500.
Wow, you're going straight and deep. That's the name of his dad.
Oh,
yeah.
He was a taxi cab driver. I remember that, but it wasn't his real dad. Damn it. I don't think Mike knew his real dad. Damn it. What was the type?
That's because he left when he was 2 years old. His father left the family, which led to financial crisis. He had an elder brother named Rodney and an elder sister named Denise, who died in 1990.
Jesus.
What is the name of the dad?
I don't know.
If any of you are screaming at this episode going, how do you not know this?
Why
Mike Tyson's the greatest boxer of all time.
Oh, Jesus.
What is Jimmy Kirkpatrick? Thanks.
What?
Thanks.
Holy, what?
Yeah, his dad's name is Jimmy
Kirkpatrick.
Yeah, well, that's why it's Boxing Jeopardy. Moving forward, this show works every time. It must make people drive off the road. It's slightly amusing that you two who are my boxing buffs are falling apart. Let's try an easy category like Mike Tyson. I'll pick Mike Tyson for 200. Okay, thanks, Lee. Let's go with, the answer is 38.
I'll buzz in.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
All right. Miguel, what do you have? 38.
What is the age he retired officially?
That is incorrect.
Fuck it.
What is what is the time he beat Larry Holmes in? Oh, shit.
What is the number of times he's been arrested?
What? Get the hell out of here. Are you serious?
When small, he was often a soft target of bullying. To overcome this, he made his style of street fighting, which resulted in criminal activity, till he reached 13. He had been arrested around 38 times. All right.
I don't
Miguel,
believe that at all.
Go ahead.
I don't believe that one at all. Hey,
I would recommend.
How would he have time to fight if he ain't got arrested that many times?
Well, part of this show is educational as well, is it not? All right, this time I turn the board to you, Miguel, because this game is going downhill rapidly fast.
Yes.
I would recommend the $100 category for the next one.
All right. Well, that's a great recommendation, Lee. I'm going to not take that recommendation. I'm going to go with Mike Tyson for 400, please.
Mike Tyson for 400 question. Okay.
Mhm.
That's the year that Customato got involved with Mike Tyson.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, see, you should have went with the easy one.
Damn it.
Yeah,
I have
no
zero
idea.
idea.
I have no idea.
What is 1980? You guys suck at this game.
Damn it.
Andrew, let me recommend.
Yeah, let me go the $100 one, please, Lee. Tyson
There you go. There you go.
Jesus.
Mike Tyson considered this man to be his mentor and focus.
Who is Customato?
No. Really?
Yeah.
How many years did Customato actually fight?
Oh, did he? Oh, all right. Oh, go ahead, Miguel. Take it.
Right.
Go ahead. Take
Who
it.
motivated him to be in boxing? Miguel?
To be in boxing?
Yeah, that's still hard. Ooh.
Be a boxer. Who motivated him for boxing?
What is Muhammad Ali? Who is Muhammad Ali?
Yes.
I guess I'll go with him.
Thank you. Great.
All right.
That's a $100 question. We're doing Chavez next time. You guys just.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go a few more rounds, but this is just getting to be painful. But we've learned a lot about Mike Tyson today, especially the number of arrests. All right. Andrew, go ahead and pick.
Mike Tyson for 200, please.
200. All right. This is the year he started professional boxing by knocking out Hector Mendez in Albany. That night he was nicknamed Iron Mike. What is the year?
I don't know.
God.
88.
You guys talk about Tyson like cum comes out of your dick when you talk about Tyson. And now when push comes to shove, apparently you guys
You're
know
asking some off-the-wall questions, though, bro. I don't remember
really
Tyson's
his professional debut and the nickname
I don't
Iron Mike Tyson.
remember his freaking father's name. Are you? I don't know Chavez's father's name. Are you serious right now? Like,
I'm gonna do my research next week.
yeah. Give us a heads up on who I think they do that in Jeopardy too, bro. His father, and then it's some guy Patrick.
1985 is when he started his professional debut. All right,
82.
Miguel, the board is yours.
All right, we'll go with Mike Tyson for 200, please.
This happened in 1997.
Oh, and what is he bit Vander Holyfield's ear?
Correct. And by the way,
Nice.
that's about a $200 question for sure. The board is yours, Miguel.
All right, we're gonna up the ante a little bit. We're gonna say Mike Tyson for 300, please, Lee.
Mike Tyson for 300. 1991.
And that is when he was convicted. Huh? Oh, when he was what is the year he was convicted of rape and went to prison?
Correct. Oh my God, he's on a run at.
Gotta spit that out.
It's getting dangerous here. All right, go ahead. The board's yours.
All right, let's continue. Putting more chips on the table here. Mike Tyson for 400, please.
It's a tough one.
Oof.
Drederick Tatum. Drederick Tatum.
Holy shit.
I have no idea.
What is the name of the boxing character parody of Mike Tyson on The Simpsons?
Oh, damn. I used to watch The Simpsons too. I should have known that one.
All right, let's wrap this up because it's already getting a little too painful for me. All right, this is Final Jeopardy. As you know, and we play this game, you are both on your honor by writing down your answers. And this is your Final Jeopardy category and question and answer. In 2012, Mike Tyson was inducted into this Hall of Fame. Good luck, gentlemen. Do
Go
do
ahead.
do 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 do. Blah.
Boxing
All
Hall of
right.
Fame.
All
What
right.
is the Boxing Hall of Fame? No.
How much did you wager?
Yeah, all of it, Lee. I think I have
As
$1
always.
today.
As always, I'm not going to tell you the outcome until I go to Miguel, who, if he gets this wrong, seriously, I'm going to be a little disappointed because he's kind of my ringer at this moment. Miguel, what is your answer?
Well, first off, I
What'd you wager? Let's go. They always do. What'd you wager?
It was 200.
Okay, you still will win no matter what. Okay, smart play.
All right. What is the New York Boxing Hall of Fame?
Oh my God, Miguel! Of all people, you should have run away with this one. What is the WWE Hall of Fame?
What the
Oh, man. That's a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Thank you. And that takes us to the end of another episode of Boxing Jeopardy, where we found out that our guys don't know shit about Mike Tyson. Tune in next time when I guarantee I'm going to do something really crazy, like make it about. I'll make it Chavez next time, just because you both think you know so much about Chavez.
Yeah. No. Okay, good.
No. I will do Justo Chavez Sr., and we will see where you're next week if you guys are really up to the task. Because I'll deep dive all week and create real questions. That'll do it for this week. Yeah, it was an okay show. It was they got bonus content, and we learned crazy shit about Mike Tyson, which is always fun. Like he's been arrested 38 times. With all of that said, visit us at fight.net.radio on social media. Visit at FightFiendMigs on social media as well, YouTube and the Instagrams. That is Andrew Labouche. That is Miguel Antonio Barragan. My name's Lee Honish. If you have questions, comments, concerns, FightNetRadio@gmail. I occasionally check that. Shit, why not? Of course, go to perfectbluestudio.com. Available on all platforms wherever your favorite streaming is done. Hit the button, Miguel.